Good morning, POTA family. Whiskey Alpha 3 November out here at US-7621. This is Spring Creek Wildlife Management Area. We're getting set up. It's going to be a quick one. This is part of my CW Revisit series. So any parks that I've previously activated only sideband before I learned Morse code, I'm just getting back out and activating. It's going to be a quick one. Busy day, got a lot going on, but I literally was driving through here regardless today, so I wanted to knock this one out as a CW park. It's early. I think it's was it 8:15, so we're gonna do 40 meters this morning. And the contest craziness over the weekend really put a damper on the bands for POTA, from what I've heard. I really didn't do anything myself, but that's what I've heard. So we're gonna get that dipole up. You know the deal. Plug in those banana clips for that 1-to-1, and let's get this tripod up here. Super simple. You know, this has probably become my favorite antenna. I actually had a really cool experience yesterday. I was visiting my in-laws and set this exact antenna up in their driveway, just, you know, doing a little hunting. And I actually worked Stewart M0TTQ in the UK with this antenna and my Zygu X6200. That's 8 watts max output. I was running a full power for that radio, and it gave me like a 549. Awesome. That's part of why I love this antenna. Let me grab the rest of it. Alright, so just going to set that whip down there. You know the deal. Going to start with our fixed extension rods. Our coil next. Slap that on the top. There's a lot of road noise, I apologize. The roadway is probably 20 yards from me. It's the only place I can find in this WMA to activate. It's a little pull-off parking lot right off the roadway, so it's a little crappy for filming, but we'll get it done. So you know the deal with these coils. Right now, it's technically on 20 meters. You can see the goldish colored area there. There's a silver area on this end. All I'm going to do is slide that down and move that little short there to that silver area. That is a pre-marked 40-meter designation for this coil. Throw that whip on and place it on the base. Grab the other half. Same deal. We're just gonna throw that coil on there, tighten her down, move to 40. There we go. Slap that whip on the end. Excuse me. And put her together. So I'm going to set this just a few feet off over here. Spin that around so our balance on this side. Coax. Over the weekend I did modify my kit just a little bit. I took the laptop bag I was using and pulled everything out and stuck it in a backpack that I already had. It's a little more carryable, you know, especially if I'm hiking into somewhere. Felt like it was nicer. All right, and then before we send it up, we're just going to extend those whips. There we go. It's a very calm morning, so I'm going to take this thing all the way up to 16 feet. Now, I'm not expecting any wind at all, but just to be safe, I'm going to take these rappets I use to keep my coax tidy and just secure it to the pole a little bit, just so it can't flop around. Alright, section 3. I'm actually going to have to move this back towards the truck a little bit. I'm too close to that tree. There we go. Get that coax out from underneath there. One more section. Height is might with this antenna. So having it up 15 feet is awesome. Let me show you a little better look here. So there she is, all the way up there. Sorry about that. I had one of those notifications pop up that shuts down my recordings, but I saw it happen and immediately fixed it. So I'm gonna throw this other rappet on that coax real quick. All right, there we go. So I have got that coax kind of secured to the mast just to be safe. Again, I'm not expecting anything today. It's a very calm morning so far. We got the Chromebook here for logging. Oop. There we go. Okay, I already have my log set up. You know the deal, World Radio League. Here's that backpack. So let's get some gear out. We're going to keep it simple this morning, and we're going to knock it out. So, that Maxwell bag, main gear bag, got that guy out. Let's see, what else are we going to need? Oh, I have this Raddy RF320. It's a multi-use short-band listening receiver. I'm going to actually plug it in the headphone jack and use this as an external speaker. It's powered so that you guys can hear my audio better. All right, let's open up our gear bag. Let me see, help you guys see what's going on a little bit better. So we'll set that speaker to the side, move that JPC bag. All right, so you know the deal, running that QMX this morning. We need BNC to UHF adapter. I say that because I always struggle with SO239 and PL259, which one's which exactly, so I take the cheating route so I don't have to remember. The only difference, if you're not familiar, is male versus female ends. That's it. I do have a choke that I just got in. Not going to use that. That's really more for the vertical. I don't think we need it with this setup. Let's snag our power cable. We're going to run off of our little Amazon special battery bank today. That's at 84%. That's plenty to get this activation done. Let's see, earbuds for me, audio aux cable for you guys. I forgot this at my last activation, so I wasn't able to record it, unfortunately. But let's get this guy plugged in. Let's see, aux. Power that on. There we go. That's set to line. Let's see what else. We need our paddle. I have my paddle cable here. So we'll plug that Putikeeg in just like that. My headphones in to that splitter. Go. Let's see. And then let's plug in our coax. Alright, got it a little bit dirty there in the sand. Make sure that's cleaned out. Just going to bring that across the tailgate here out of the way. Alright. Pull you guys over here. So here's the setup. There's that speaker, battery bank, splitter, QMX, coax, the key, earbuds. Let's get this sucker turned on. And then, let's see, I gotta remember band. I honestly don't switch bands with this much. Alright, so set. We're gonna, hang on. I don't want to turn that slow. Let's turn this down. I like my 43.5. I used to do 43 even, but I got walked on a lot, so we'll just do the 43. Little audio check. Got some sound coming out. Let me throw an earbud in. Same thing on my side. Oh, that's the key. There it is. A lot of traffic out here. This is only my second time physically at this WMA, so a lot of this is learning. Oh yeah, good audio in the ear too. Turn that down just a touch. Okay. Bring this key over. Alright, you know the deal. We want to be safe, so we're going to go menu. Hardware test. If you go to the right, it's pretty soon. There it is. Tune SWR. Ooh, that's a little high. Okay. Let's put the nano on that and see what's up here. So, sorry. My camera work is not Hollywood quality, sorry. We're going to throw the nano VNA on there and just take a look at that antenna, see why it's so high. It should not be near 3. It's usually pretty good on 40, so I may need to shorten the whip, or I may have something just a little off with one of the coils. I don't know. We'll see where it's at first. Well, that's not good. My nano VNA is dead. It was turned on accidentally in the backpack. Let me get out a spare battery here, because I have some. This is why I have some. Let's see. There it is. The Swiss Tech solar battery. This thing's awesome. I do happen to have the USB-C to plug this guy in. So let's do that. Part of ham radio is improvising, right? We're being prepared as much as possible. That's what I'm trying to do here. There we go. Power on. Stimulus starts at 7 on my default settings for this. That's what I set it to. So it is actually too low on resonance. Let me show you here. Too low. So we're gonna bring this guy, move my speaker here and set the phone down. Again, I'm not likely to win any sort of awards for my camera work. All right, we're gonna bring this down. Make sure we don't hit the truck with it. Okay. So then what the instructions say to do is to take your negative side, your ground side of your antenna, and shorten it or adjust it to get your better match. So in this case, that's this left side here. I'm going to shorten it about 1/2 to 3/4 of one extension. All right, let's see what that looks like on the nano. That's still showing that it's resonant too low. We'll bring it in a full extension. Oh yeah, there we go. And when you put this antenna up, it tends to change the resonance as you get away from the physical earth ground. So it's looking good. Let me jack it back up in the air and we'll see what it looks like now. All right, back all the way up. Let's see what that nano shows. That was actually too much, believe it or not. It is now resonant near the FT8 frequency, actually. So I'm going to bring it down and pull about 2-3 inches out of that ground side. Like I said, it changes when you put this thing back up. All right, got about 3 or so inches out on the ground side. Let's check again. Okay, make sure that's nice and steady. Let's see what we're, oh, that's money. I might actually run a little lower frequency than normal because it's just a little low actually, and I don't feel like tweaking it 4 times. Well, tell you what, I don't want to be in the extra portion and limit who can hunt, so I'll bring it down one more time and we'll get that resonance a little more in tune with where I want to be at. So we'll shorten it about half of what I pulled it out, I think. There we go, about 1.5 inches or so. Right back up. Right, and one more check of that now. Oh, that's money right there. Let me show you here. So like I said, I want to activate around my typical 7.043 megahertz. Look at that, 7042, 1025. I mean, that's just beautiful. So we'll shut that off and get things going here. Let's see, turn you guys around this way a little bit. Wake this Chromebook up again. All right, so we are finally ready to fire up this activation. I'm gonna do tune SWR on the QMX one more time just to make sure it's happy too, and then we'll get going. .1 to 1.09. I mean, it's just perfect. All right, I will be right back, and then we'll get started. All right, we are set to go. I've called QRL a handful of times, nothing. I'm going to spot myself and then verify that spot took before I even bother calling CQ. I have learned that lesson. It just doesn't always take. I don't know if it's a WRL issue or if it's me, my account, who knows. I am showing a spot on the POTA page, so let's do it. I don't know if my key's right set up or not. I guess I'll find out here in a second. Yeah, that's the right way. CQ. I hope you're able to hear this. It's hard to tell because it's in my ear too. Like I said, not an ideal spot to play radio. There's traffic right behind me. You'll probably see the cars occasionally go behind me there. That's surprising. 3 rounds so far and no takers, but that's alright. I'm only running 5 watts on 40 meters. It happens. KG5 KGK. $5.9 to you, Kenneth. Oops, sorry. $5.89. Again, on 5 watts, I'll take it on 40 meters. Thank you for Texas, Kenneth. I'm really surprised that I didn't have someone waiting. Alright. CQ it is. Let's look at RBN here while this is calling for me. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. Go back here in case someone calls. I got Dallas, KC, another one into Kansas, and then 2 up around Chicago. So westerly this morning. That's interesting. N8JY. N8JY. Good morning, John in Michigan. 559. I might be oriented the wrong way too. I don't pay a lot of attention to which way I point the dipole when I put it up. K2ZDX. If I got this right, I got Thomas in Georgia. K2ZDX. 4499. Yep. Thomas in Georgia. Got it. WBA QZM. Got Brian in Texas. Another 559. I mean, I'm running 5 watts on 40 meters. I can't be mad at that. Whiskey Alpha 4 Foxtrot. 579 to you. I believe I have Gary. 599. WA4FLH. Yep. Thank you, Gary. KY4ZY. Got David in Tennessee again. Do you not hear me? There we go. He heard me that time. Five, 559. Four HA I got. K4HPP. That's only 80 miles. K4HPP James here in Tennessee. That is funny. Actually, this is our 7th QSU. All right, that's 7 contacts, and then it fell out. CQ it is. Let's see what our stats are real fast. 63 Qs an hour, which is awesome. 6 minutes in, 7 contacts. I really figured I'd have a contact there. 40 is really short this morning. I'm getting a lot of Tennessee stations, which is awesome, but a little unusual. Looking at my RBN spots, let's see. Same 5 I had earlier. 1, 2, 3 Tennessee stations out of 7. Almost half my QSOs are this state, which is funny because I am extremely western in Tennessee. So in order for me to get all Tennessee, that means they're all east side, which is crazy, but cool. 3 more to go. And I don't know, the traffic could be interfering with me too. I don't know. Nine MSC. Wait. I think that was W9 MSC. I don't know. He just started sending the exchange, so I just worked it. Sorry, if I send your call sign and then question mark, that means I don't have it yet. But sometimes people just go with the QSO. So when that happens, I log what I hear, and you get the credit or you don't. Sorry. I guess verify I've got your call right. Sorry. This is very weak. KG1A. Thomas in Florida, KG1A, very, very avid hunter of mine. This is our 22nd QSO. 559 into Florida. Hey, I'll take it. He's a little bit weak QSB, but it works. Thank you so much, Thomas. KF8 FCC. Give you a 559 this morning, Eric. $539 back. The band's real fadey this morning. W9 GTA. Pat in Indiana, another avid hunter of mine. This is our 10th QSO. 559. All right, that gives me, what's that give me? 11. I'm going to go to 12, like I tend to do. Hopefully this is my last CQ. QMX is putting out like it's full 5 watts. It's receiving about 11.5 volts off of this battery. Fantastic. Nothing that round. Just looking for one more. Let's see what our stats are at now. So 52 QSOs an hour. 12 minutes, no park to parks yet. Come on, Papa needs one more. Let's see what that map looks like. Very round spread, funny enough. Come on. KG1A took the leaderboard 571 miles from my furthest QSO, which on 40 is not bad, especially QRP. Man, this last QSO is going to take a minute, and it's going to kill my speed. I technically got the activation in about 11 minutes, and it was about 60 Qs an hour, but I always like that buffer of 2 extra QSOs in case there's a dud call in there. I've had that happen before, and it's never bounced my activation, but I just like to be cautious. Come on, this is it. K2UPD. Yep. I got you, bud. Peter. .559. It's New York. I mean, that's pretty far. All right, nothing hurt. All right, QRT. So that's it. 46 QSOs an hour average rate, and 12 Qs in the logs. We got 12 in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's definitely not bad. Let's fix that spot to QRT. Let's see, spot me QRT. Send. And that's it. All right, so now my spot should go away here. Last heard 3 minutes ago. It'll update here in a minute, I'm sure. Let's get packed up. So just toss this stuff in here. You know the deal. I've got another park hopefully planned for later today. I'm hoping that the audio worked with this speaker. I'll find out when I go back and review this footage later. But I've got another park hopefully planned for today that's very rare. I don't think it's been activated in like 10 months or something, and I think it's only got like 1 or 2 CW activations, so hopefully I can get out there. It kind of depends on timing and stuff with work, but we'll just have to see. I'm glad I got to revisit this park. Like I said, I've never done CW at this park before, so it was nice to CQ, nice. TR. I don't know why it says TR. My spot is still showing active, so let's QRT it. It's not letting me put anything in the box. I'm not signed in, so that may be why. Oh, there it goes. I went back to my WRL tab, and it said spot sent, so hopefully that takes care of it. Like I said, not an ideal place to activate. It's just, the roadway's right here. It's a relatively active road, so it's really rough, at least for filming. I mean, if I was just activating with my headphones in, it really wouldn't be a problem, but I'm trying to bring you, the people, the content, all 3 of you that watch my videos, but it's definitely not somewhere that's fun to hang out and play radio compared to some other places that I've gone. There's not even really a lot of wildlife. It's just kind of woody marshland here, so I mean, there's some birds and stuff, but not really seeing them. I just hear them. There's a lot of this in West Tennessee. These WMAs that they're obviously designed for hunting, but since they're public access land, they qualify as POTA references as well. And so you end up with these parks that aren't parks, and you basically end up out in some cornfield somewhere or whatever, playing radio. But it's alright, it's an excuse to get out and play with it, right? And I've activated quite a bit of different stuff. I mean, I've been to state parks, county fishing lakes, WMAs. I've activated a lot of places, and it just depends. State parks have their drawbacks. I mean, a state park can be incredibly busy to the point that you don't even really feel like activating, because I know the main premise of POTA is to kind of spread the word of ham radio, and I absolutely want to do that, but sometimes you get people that are really nosy to the point that they kind of interfere with your activation, and they can even kind of freak out sometimes when they see all of the stuff. So I don't know what's going on with my spot. Sorry, I tried to get it to go away, but it's still showing up for some reason. Let's get this laptop shut off. This actually is working pretty well. I wasn't sure how well it was going to work for this. Let me get you guys turned around here, and you help me bring the dipole down and put away. So we'll pull that rapid off for the coax. Bring her down. Get that second rapid off of there. I try to be careful when I bring this down and not bounce it too much. Alright, we'll start with that coax. Actually, JK, we're bringing in the whips first. Okay, now I'm going to take this coax, stretch it out straight. Okay, got that rolled up. I absolutely hate sand. It's on my coax, and it's going to be everywhere. The good thing is this isn't the coax that I keep in my pack generally, so it'll just kind of fall off in the truck bed, where it'll eventually get swept out when I get tired of how nasty it is back there. Put that up, put this laptop up. Go. Maybe. It's got a keeper strap and it's really fighting me because of that Velcro. Here we go. Alright. Swiss Tech battery. Put up. Sorry, that's not the most entertaining angle there because I'm moving around a lot. Let's see. I should be done with this backpack, so we're going to go ahead and close that up and put it back here. Get out the bag for that dipole. And get that torn down. Sorry, that wasn't really correct, but I don't see my 8th grade English teacher out here anywhere, and frankly, if I did, she'd be a skeleton given how old she was, I don't know, almost 20 years ago when I was in school at that age. I just love how small this dipole breaks down and how well it performs. Like I said yesterday, I got some wicked cool DX on it, and I don't know, it works. It just works. I was surprised this morning, though, when we set this up, that it wasn't resonant at full length on 40 meters. That surprised me just a little bit. Now, the good thing is, since it was too low, it was very fixable. I just shortened up that ground leg of the dipole a little bit, and we were off to the races. And the other thing is, this puts together and tears down really quickly. I mean, I've got the antenna more or less torn down. All I have is the base. And if you're in a real hurry, you could just throw this in the bag as packaged. I do like to take it apart, though, and not damage those banana clips. So that's the dipole put up. Just the tripod. There it is. And I always like to re-secure that screw at the end. You're kind of asking for trouble if you leave that dude loose. I definitely don't want it to fall out in the back of the truck. There's a lot back here. All right, we're gonna close up shop here on the truck, and that's it. So thanks again for joining me out here at this little WMA activation CW revisit. Put it on, friends. Whiskey Alpha 3 November 72.